My name is Jane Scotter. I am a biodynamic grower, farmer. I live in Herefordshire, in a parish called St Margaret's in foothills of the Black Mountains, close to Wales. So I grow
Great.
flowers and vegetables biodynamically, mainly for Sky Gingell at Spring Restaurant in London. I had never grown anything before I came here, which was about 25, 26 years ago. I was a partner at the cheese shop, Neal's Yard Dairy. And from that, I traveled the country quite a lot. I've always enjoyed, I like the English countryside a great deal. And we went around the country and bought, farmhouse cheese from small artisanal producers making, beautiful cheese from unpasteurized milk. And I think I'd been in London for a long, long time. And I used to come to this part of the world on holiday. And I just, one day just had that kind of eureka moment that I didn't want to live in London any longer. And so probably very naively, I just up sticks and moved and went and did it. I had no training or anything like that, just the will and determination to do what I do. And it's been very difficult at times, extremely difficult at times. Weather is a major contributor to success or lack of success. Lots of heartbreak along the way, but I think I'm very pleased with where we are now. It was the biodynamics really, which really helped us to decide, how to go. But we knew we wanted to be organic, but going towards the biodynamics, they were very helpful to give us guidance on what to do and the way that that's kind of set up. Okay, so what do we do today? Well, today is a day that is particularly beneficial to leaf crops. So great, let's go and do that. And it just, came from that. I mean, we worked really hard, and it was nothing but just fields here. And we've put every greenhouse, every tree has been planted by us. And I do remember. I can't believe how the time has gone by. But I can remember these small, sort of meter high apple trees going in, and now they're 30 feet tall and producing close to sort of a ton each. So it's quite something, the production and how things mature and how it does take that time. It's a 3-year process to be biodynamic. It's 2 years to become organic. So at first you're in conversion. And then you can be certified just organic, but it takes a further year to be biodynamic. Biodynamics is essentially organics. It's everything that the regulations and the guide to being organic is by all the other certifying bodies. But with biodynamics, you take it a little bit further. It's a sort of philosophy, really, and perhaps it's described really as a holistic approach to farming, whereby we consider the influences and the forces from the unseen influences and forces from the universe and the planets and the solar system, the effects that it has on the plants and us, of course. We also do some sprays, applications, which is a horn silica, a horn preparation that we do at the very beginning of the year, and then we do another one with silica, which is to help with the ripening. And so those are the basic things that make you a biodynamic grower, and to follow this planting calendar, which takes into consideration all the alignments of the sun, the moon, and the constellations, of which that would benefit a part of that plant. And we try to work on that part of that plant on that very day. Today is a flower day. So today we are sowing and working with flowers. We are actually working with fruit too, today, because we sort of have to, because it's a little bit of an emergency situation, trimming up the tomatoes. But in my heart, it tells me that if I tend to the flowers of the fruit, then I will have good fruit. Yeah, so that but the sowing is the most important, and we always try to do that on the days that are beneficial to that plant, part of the plant. Farming is a very difficult job, because you have so much that's out of your control, and these days people do want to always be, you can switch lights on and off, and but I just can't. We had a massive thunderstorm yesterday, and if that had happened 2 or 3 hours previously, we would have lost lots of crops and all sorts of things, but we'd done the harvesting and it was all fine. But biodynamics, they have days that's unfavorable to work on the land, which I always have to find other things to do, and I can't do what I want to do. But no, there's nothing difficult about being biodynamic. It's a great benefit to everything. And yeah, it's a good thing to do. It's probably quite naive to think that everybody could be a biodynamic grower. There's so many demands on to feed people, to feed the masses, and I often sort of, I think it is sadly, I sell to the privileged few, that's for sure, by doing it by hand. I often put it towards sort of, with a designer pair of shoes, and that comes at a price. I completely understand why a grower, say the big wheat fields of Canada and America, if you lose that whole crop, that's you're finished, and so maybe you do have to spray against bugs and things, but that is just the global problem. But I think you can do it on a big scale of successfully, definitely. But I think to think that that's the way it should be, it is the way it should be, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it can be. And I think that we can work towards that. But I think that everybody has to change their eating habits, or say Europe and America and things, where we're all very rich countries. We should definitely be stepping forward and taking responsibility to farm organically. And I definitely believe that if we didn't have this massive variation in climate change and so on, that it could be done like that. But I think people's eating habits have to change. People's expectation of how much the food is going to cost. Food costs way more than people pay for it. End of story. Any farm worker is probably paid minimum wage, and still, you have crops that really are not really worth doing. So it's a very, very difficult, tricky topic. But I think with support, and again, there's a lot of people who are very successful at it, and I think that doesn't mean to say that other people can't be. But big scale farming is a business and feeds the masses, and let's work towards that. That'd be great.